morning. Thank you for hopping on this interview.
Yeah, thank you. Jamie, right?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
Lara or Lara.
In German, it's Lara.
Do you want to tell me a little bit about yourself, like how old you are and when you started pole and what got you into exotic pole?
Mm-hmm.
And also when you started YouTube videos, because that's really cool.
Thank you. I'm 26. Still quite young. And I started pole dance. When did I start? 2012, actually, in the beginning of 2012. I mean, I had like a break for 1 year in between. But yeah, that's since when I do pole. And I started a YouTube channel like approximately, I would say, 1 year after I also started really going into exotic pole dance.
Mm-hmm.
That was 2016, I think. Yeah, 2016 in the winter I started. And it was right before, a few months before I also moved to Berlin to come here. Yeah.
From where?
Did I forget something? Huh?
From where?
From Bielefeld. It's a smaller town in Germany. It's in West Germany. No, I'm in East Germany.
Cool. And so you started exotic pole 4 years after you started pole?
Yes, I mean, I had shoes before, but now I wouldn't call it like exotic. I just moved in them, and if I see videos of me when I was like in the studio and just wearing high heels, it looks funny. It's just cute. I mean, the shoes were too big. I had always my right size, but now I know I have to buy a size smaller, so it was always a little floppy.
Oh no! So you wore them more like because they were pretty or something, like?
Yes. I never seriously trained in them before.
Okay. Yeah. What did you think? Like, what made you, I guess, like decide to buy them?
I think just the woman in me that wanted high heels. In the past I also wore like high heels for going out, partying, etc. Now I just wear like sneakers, so stuff. And I just was like, they look good. They were pink actually. Now I don't wear any pink. But I was like, why not? I will try. I see other dancers do that in the internet. I think I didn't have Instagram back then. Just saw on YouTube some dancers.
Oh my god, it's hard to imagine that time. I don't think I was polling when there was Instagram, so it's hard to.
When did you start?
Yeah, only a year.
When did you start polling?
Like 3.5 years ago.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now Instagram is the thing for.
Yeah, it's the only thing. That's why I wanted to live stream this, because everyone's only on Instagram. Like, unless another thing comes out that like allows people to post without censorship, I don't think we're gonna move from Instagram.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So, you're 27, or no, you're 26. And you started making YouTube. What made you like decide like I'm gonna make tutorials for people?
That's a long story.
Were you already teaching?
What?
Were you already teaching, or were you just like, I want to like make YouTube
videos? Yes, I started teaching in 2000. Pole dance teaching, I think 2014, in a smaller studio back in my hometown. And before I was like becoming a fitness instructor, etc. And then I had the chance to also do pole dance in a studio of a friend. So I was like, yeah, why not? And then in 2016, I came back from a trip to Asia, and I didn't know what to do with my life. So when I came back, I missed pole dance a lot when I was on that trip. I became a yoga teacher there.
Oh, wow.
But I always missed pole. I went actually, like in Bangkok, I went to a pole dance studio that was fun, and then on Bali that was also quite interesting to see other studios. And yeah, when I came back, I just like moved in back to my parents and set up my room with a pole and trained. I mean, I was always fitness instructor, etc. And I just worked again as a waiter and in a pole dance studio, in a new one that was in town, and a bigger one. which gave me also a lot of opportunities, and the teachers there were much more experienced and teach me some stuff that was very good. And so I was a teacher before I started YouTube, yes. And before I started YouTube, I also went, I think, 2 times to Riga, where I started to learn. Sorry?
You went to where?
Riga, Latvia.
Oh, yeah. You interviewed Sasha, right?
Sasha, yes. Sasha and Daniela. And that's how I got really into it. And I also went to some workshops, of course. And then, yeah, I just always had the idea, I don't know what to do. And of course, I was already watching YouTubers from fitness, etc., doing tutorials. And I was like, I knew I could do it. I had like something that was like, just do it. But I was very shy and I needed somebody to kick me in my butt. And then I had like my ex-boyfriend who really pushed me and supported me because he knew a lot about YouTube. So I started it with the help of him, and that I'm very grateful for. So yeah, that's how I started.
What a good boy.
Yes, it was good. Yeah, I'm grateful for that, definitely. Yeah.
You were a fitness instructor before?
Yes.
Of what? Like yoga or like HIIT, or like what were you doing for Pole, and like what were you doing professionally, I guess, like specifically?
I worked at a fitness studio where I was also like in training to become a fitness instructor, and they teach me their like group fitness, and I had to teach all classes. So they had their own concept. They had stuff like yogi latex, and it was just a fusion of Pilates and yoga, and we had like fat burner and core stuff. So everything, also spinning. I hated spinning, but I had to teach it.
Oh my god, we hate cardio, right? Everyone loves cardio.
Yeah, but that was a very big boost also for my confidence. Like to teach 50 people in a room, it's like,
oh wow.
Yeah, but it was fun. It was fun. A good experience also.
Yeah. So what kind of like reaction, I guess, did you get when you started making videos?
Did I get so in the beginning? I mean, I started in German, so I didn't have so many followers. It was very slow, but I just kept doing it. I was very disciplined and made a lot of videos in the beginning and uploading. And I don't remember any negative feedback. I just know, of course, friends were talking about it, but I didn't care. And I just got positive feedback also from people from like New Zealand. I have one follower. She's like with me since always, and although she can't understand German, but she was always watching me and was like asking questions and was very engaged, and it was cool. Yeah, and it was cool to first see, wow, I can reach people on the other side of the world. So it's crazy.
Yeah, hence us talking. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yes, I mean, I reach you somehow. So it's like, wow.
When you went, that you got really into pole when you went to Riga, Latvia, and is that like, were you inspired by Sasha and Aliona? Like, what made you get more into pole when you went there?
Yes, definitely, because I was like, of course, then on Instagram in 2016, and I saw also like Lara Joh, Tanya Masheva, etc. And I saw Sasha, and something was like, wow, this is how I want to move, and I want to learn from her. And then I just wrote her, and she was like, yeah, sure, you can come, and it's not too far away from here, and quite easy to get to. So it was like, why not? And then this was what really got me. I just followed my feelings. I followed what felt good, I think, and that's what was a good thing to do. Although I didn't know what am I doing, I'm just spending the few money that I have on that trip, and my parents didn't understand, but somehow it all went well. So
yeah, how would you say your style developed, like, over the course of your journey?
I think I don't say that I have really a style. I mean, people tell me I have a style. Of course, I like flow a lot, and it just gets more nuanced, and it's always changing. So I would say more flow, definitely. Sometimes, I mean, in the past I did some hip hop songs, some quicker choreographies, which is also fun, and I like that. But at the moment, I enjoy most just flow and more those creepy flows. Also, not beautiful, but like making strange shapes. Not that like la la la, but more like
yeah, more like hard, I guess.
yeah, I like that. I like that from the beginning, like this dark stuff. You know? Yeah.
Would you say you were like a different kind of person before you did pole, or like how were you? I guess like feminine wise, and because some people change. Like I know I changed a lot before I did pole. Like, what did you have any kind of transformation at all?
Definitely over the years since 2012, I changed a lot. I would say a big part of that is coming from pole dance. I think that I'm just got more confident with myself, with my body, and feeling more secure, definitely more secure in myself, and able to express myself and just happy also with myself. I think it's a form of self-love also to do that for myself, dancing, and just brought me more out. Also the teaching, of course, like standing in front of people and talking to them and teaching, etc. Just how do you say it in English? Big confidence boost. Yeah, I think a lot of confidence from that, and from having a YouTube channel, of course, was like every step was scary, of course, but I just like, why not? What could happen?
Yeah. When did you decide to make them English?
Because I had so many English followers who wrote me, who were like, yeah, we understand your videos very good through watching. But then I was like, okay, it seems like I can't, like I reach already these people, and these are the majority that interact with me. So because I love English too, and I like to speak in English, I changed to English. Yeah, just so I can reach more people and teach them better.
Well, thank you. Thank you for making that switch, because obviously a lot of people are not watching the other videos in English. Did you have any like major struggles, I guess, as you in your journey as a pole dancer that you can recall?
I think staying motivated sometimes, or progressing. Like, although I was a trainer, I mean, pole dance is something different a little bit, not the normal fitness training. So I think the biggest struggle was like, because I also hadn't access to like very good teachers for pole in the past, in the very, very past. Now in Berlin it's totally different. When I was first in Berlin, I was like, wow, the level here is so high. And oops, so the biggest, what was the word again?
Struggle?
Yeah, okay, struggle is, I think, like to progress and being motivated, staying motivated throughout this journey. I think that was a part. But in 2016, when I really dived into it, and I wrote a lot of stuff on papers and had it on my walls to keep reminding me how I want to train, etc. And this helped me a lot, like visuals. And then I got better, and I liked it even more. Although I always loved to dance just for myself, even without heels, without the pole. This and the biggest struggle, just getting more strength, pole specific strength. That's why I don't do so many tricks. I just like dancing. I like dancing more. That fits me better.
Yeah. I feel like, because I was also a fitness instructor, I feel like I have a lot of things in common with you, but I'll talk to you later about that.
Cool.
I feel like a lot of things from fitness like helped me in pole dance, and like and do you agree with like goal setting? It's like, I don't know, as a fitness person, I feel like those people are usually inclined to have like always been those people that set goals and write them down and like track progress. Like, are you like that, or what kind of, do you feel like your fitness background has steered your pole career in a certain direction, like, or how you train, I guess?
Definitely in the beginning. I mean, I started pole, then I became a fitness teacher, and had a short break, and then I started pole like again. And when I then started pole again, really seriously, of course, I used my knowledge from the fitness training and said, like, I knew the regeneration and in which order to train best, and small muscles, big muscles, etc. It helped me, yes, it helped me. And I still like conditioning. I still also like to do body weight stuff at home sometimes. So yeah, I think it influences my pole dance training, definitely. And also when I do fitness, personal trainings, it helps, of course, also the knowledge, because I know how the muscles work, etc. And it is a big help.
Yeah. How do you train right now? I know you said
at the moment,
more, like, obviously dancing still requires a lot of strength and stamina. What's your current training routine like?
Now I'm I train less. I'm a little softer with myself, because in the past I trained a lot, and yeah, I just feel that I don't want that so much anymore. I don't want to train so hard. I don't want to be so hard anymore with myself. So I just do what feels good. Oh, not only, but like I train in a way that doesn't
not overtraining, basically.
Overtrain it, overstresses myself, that I'm completely done. Because in the past, I mean, I teach so much and I trained myself so much, and I was just tired all the time, and it was not so nice. So now I'm trying to just be more balanced. I train 3 to 4 times a week, and that's totally enough for myself.
Yeah.
And I like that.
What do you recommend for people that are like starting out, and like, because I feel like it always feels like there's so much to know and you kind of want to be good at everything. Like, what's your advice for people that are overtraining and trying to be amazing, like, or trying to be a teacher, or trying to be at a point where they feel so far from?
Yes, that is difficult. It's very individual, I think. But getting clear on first why you do what you do, to have also the motivation to do it. I hope you do it for yourself, and then just focus on something. Focus what is the most important thing for you, not for everybody else, for you. And then concentrate more on that. If it's, I don't know, flexibility goals, the most crazy tricks and flexibility terms on the pole, then maybe more like in contortion and strength with the pole. So I think it's hard to do everything at once. So I would say try out different things and see what you really like. Just be true to yourself. Or yeah, it's hard.
I like picking a focus, because that kind of takes a lot of weight off of people.
Yes. I mean, and you don't, maybe telling them also, you don't have to do everything at once. Nobody can. Although it may seem so. Like, it's okay to do one thing at a time. Yeah. Or what did you want to say?
Oh, I was just saying, like, with your students, do you find that that's a thing, like, people trying to do like everything and like overtraining?
Overtraining, I don't see so many students doing that. I think just expecting from themselves to be somewhere else where they actually are. Does it make sense?
Yeah, like they expect to be further along than they can realistically be.
Yes, sometimes.
Like basically, you need to exercise patience.
Yes, we need patience, of course, to like get better. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just do it and enjoy the process more than getting to the result.
Yeah. Who have been your major like inspirations? And have those people changed as you've gotten more into exotic?
So I don't know who was my inspiration, but back when I started, I found some pole dancer I remember on YouTube. That's how I got into it, and like I was like, okay, now I try. If there's somewhere in my city, studio, and yeah, back then in 2016, of course, Sasha Miao, Alyona Amber, Tanya Mashiva. And Tanya Mashiva still is, and Sasha Miao also still is, and Alyona also. But of course, the more I got into it, the more people I saw. And now it's just a lot of the Russians also, like Tanya Falls, also Marina Motunova, I think is the name. I really like her style because it's very, very creepy and like, different. And yeah, like this more the Russian, Ukrainians are also very good. Like Kaya Bloom, of course, she's crazy. All her handstands. Yeah, but I can get inspiration from everywhere, from every person. Sometimes it's also my own students. When I see people tag me and I watch their videos, I'm like, this is nice. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone asked in the questions, and you guys can feel free to ask questions. What's your parents think now about pole dance? They said now. I'm wondering if they thought differently before and now.
They were always very open. I mean, in 2013, I had a pole in our living room, so they were totally okay with it. I think they were like maybe a little shy with it and like, oh. But now, of course, they also watch my videos sometimes, and then they call me and say like, "Wow, it's so cool what you do, and I'm so proud of you." I'm just like, it's cute. It's cute. It's strange to believe. I mean, sometimes it's not always like in front of my head, like that I know, yes, I have a YouTube channel and I have a lot of videos like online, public, that a lot of people can watch. Because in my day-to-day life, it's not just like so, how do you say?
Not at the front of your brain.
No, that it's just not like, how do you say the word? I mean, I feel like a normal person, and I sometimes like forget that this is all online and available to everyone to see. So that's funny. But yeah, my parents are totally fine with it and okay, and very open. I'm very glad for that. Yes.
Yeah, and have your friends been the same?
Yeah, I even had a friend back then. She also got into pole dance, and after I did, after 2 years, I think she also started. Yeah, so I don't know, was I ever not supported from friends in pole dancing? I don't remember. I'm more here in Berlin. I have a lot of friends who are pole dancers and who are teachers, so we are all open. We all accept each other.
Did you make an Instagram for pole, or did you have a separate Instagram and make another one because of pole?
In the past?
Yeah, like you know how some people have to make a separate account because they're
no.
Like
I didn't. I mean, it's not like I had some job at a company and I had to hide anything. I don't like the idea of like hiding myself. Of course, I respect privacy and everybody should have their boundaries. But yeah, back then I just had a public account, but I didn't have many followers. So nowadays followers just come from YouTube, I think. Yeah.
Where do you teach? In what studio? Someone asked.
I mean, I feel like a normal person, and I sometimes like forget that this is all online and available to everyone to see. So that's funny. But yeah, my parents are totally fine with it and okay, and very open. I'm very glad for that. Yes.
Yeah, and have your friends been the same?
Yeah, I even had a friend back then. She also got into pole dance, and after I did, after 2 years, I think she also started. Yeah, so I don't know. Was I ever not supported from friends in pole dancing? I don't remember. I don't remember. I'm more here in Berlin. I have a lot of friends who are pole dancers and who are teachers, so we are all open. We all accept each other.
Did you make an Instagram for pole, or did you have a separate Instagram and make another one because of pole?
In the past?
Yeah, like, you know how some people have to make a separate account because they're...
No.
Like,
I didn't. I mean, it's not like I had some job at a company and I had to hide anything. I don't like the idea of like hiding myself. Of course, I respect privacy and everybody should have their boundaries. But yeah, back then I just had a public account, but I didn't have many followers. So nowadays followers just come from YouTube, I think. Yeah.
Where do you teach and what studio? Someone asks. Oh, you teach in Berlin. What studio, I guess?
Sorry?
What studio do you teach at in Berlin?
Yes, in Berlin, correct. At Muse Pole Dance. But now we are also closed, unfortunately. Well, you can also write me a direct message if you ever want to come here and need some advice where to go. Of course, I can write people.
Well, if someone else, I don't know how to visit, but sorry. Sorry. What has been your favorite pole experience? Like, has it been a performance, workshops? Like, what's your favorite? What has been your favorite thing to do?
My favorite thing to do, yeah, it's teaching people with students, like teaching, and they give me feedback, and I try to adapt the teaching to them. Because always everybody understands things differently, and different cues work for everyone, and that's what I find also very interesting. Like for some, this works; for some, this works, and that's yeah. I love that. I love that part.
What's your favorite thing to teach? What kind of style or?
What kind of style? I found out I don't like to teach pole fitness anymore. When I was giving a class in January, I think, I was like, it's so boring. So I like choreography more, because then it's not always the same thing. And I mean, I can make new choreographies, new songs. We can use new songs. But yeah, despite that, of course, I use in my classes always some stuff that's similar, so people learn things like a fan kick or just repeat the positioning before we start choreography. If I had any phases where I didn't want to do any pole dance, where I didn't have any motivation, and if so, if I had a routine, now how I got into my old routine again. So, yes, sometimes I have phases where I don't want to do pole, but it's not long phases, so I wouldn't get out completely. And because I'm a teacher and because I have my online stuff, of course, I feel I have also the responsibility to train on a regular basis, at least. Have 2 or 3 weeks off, but especially then, if I have 2 weeks off, I'm much more motivated to get back on the ball again, actually. And I feel also much more ready. Because if I overtrain, of course, my body says no. So there is some resistance. But if I am regenerated, I am also, or if I'm nourished with everything like food, sleep, etc., then I just, for me, it is natural that I have the motivation to move.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you? Oh, I was just gonna ask, like, do you have any like recovery methods or like how in the in between time after you like say you do a super hard pole workout and you need like a couple days off? Like, is there some things you do like to help you recover faster?
There are many things I think one can do for better recovery. First, of course, nutrition, but that's a different thing for everyone. Everybody eats differently today. So for me, just eating on a regular basis, so I can get also good sleep. Because what I noticed is when I don't eat regularly, my body is stressed, tense, and I can't sleep, and this affects the regeneration. So sleep is important for me. And if I feel really tired, I also take a nap. And I also, like after training directly, I try to lay down and to like let my nervous system reset. So my nervous system can better go into the parasympathicus, into a regeneration. And that's easier. Instead, that's what I can recommend for everyone, is like not running after the training and do the next stuff, but allowing the body to calm down and to get into regenerational state, let's say, from the nervous system. That's what helped me, I think. Yeah. And just despite that, I also sometimes do like lacrosse ball or mini black roll if my muscles are very hard, this pressure release.
Oh,
no.
Yeah.
My facial releases. I don't know how to pronounce. What do you say?
Well, I think most people just say foam rolling. I said
foam rolling. Yeah, because I don't like rolling. I rather hold on squats and breathe into it and feel like letting go and that the muscle relaxes. And but in general, it really helps. I think for me, just listening to my body, and whenever I feel tired, I allow myself to feel tired. I lay down sometimes just on the floor and just like stretching and joining and following my impulses, and afterwards I'm just like refreshed. So yeah, not always like working and pushing through. I don't like the idea anymore, but rather going with what's occurring. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's possible. I mean, for a lot of people, it's probably not possible, but I have a lot of freedom to do that gratefully. So, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's really good that it sounds like you're very in tune with your body. Like, you know what you need, like how to fix, like how you said your nervous system, giving it a break because you're on this and you need to get down to this level.
Yes, I mean, that was also a journey, but I think I'm having now a much better connection to what I need and listening to myself.
Yeah. Do you like how do you feel when you're freestyling? Like, is that like therapy for you, or what? Can you talk a bit about your freestyle?
Mm-hmm. So freestyle is, for me, it's always different. It really depends on the state that I am. If I allow myself enough time to get into the flow and to like put my phone away, all the distractions away, it's really, I just love it. Like if I am just so present and in the flow and in the music and I'm just moving without judging myself, it's freeing, I think. Yeah. Although it's sometimes it takes more time to get into that state. Sometimes it doesn't even happen, and then I'm accepting that. Sometimes it's just like that. So.
Yeah. I feel like it's harder, like, I don't know. Like right now we're in like this like isolation, and it feels like difficult to not be on a screen.
Yeah.
You're outside, but then if you shouldn't be outside usually, so I don't know. I feel like it can be hard to get into that like flow state with no distractions when you're at home.
Yes. I mean, especially at that time right now, of course, many people are triggered. So much stress and nervousness and tension. It's hard, of course, and it's okay if it's not possible. Yeah.
This will probably be my last question, and if you guys have any questions, you can ask. Where do you want to be in like 5 years from now? Like, what would you like to? Do you just want to keep going the way you're going? Like, is there any big goals you have
for pole dance or?
Yeah.
For pole, I don't have any big goals. Do you have? I just want to keep doing the dancing that I do, definitely. Exotic flow style. And I would love to just meet more people and travel also to St. Petersburg, for example, and learn there, and to the Ukraine. I would love to do that and just keep doing that and just fine-tuning my dancing style and creating more choreographies, dances, and having fun with it. So nothing like Bird of Paradise or something.
Yeah, trick goals. No more tricks. Just flow.
No, I do conditioning, but yeah, just like shoot them out, inverts and leggings and climbs, stuff like that.
Someone asked, what mindset does it take to strongly improve dance skills? I also wanted to ask, do you have a dance background at all? But you can answer this first. Like, what mindset to improve?
Mindset. Okay, first, I don't have a dance background. What do you say?
No, go on.
Okay, I don't have a dance background. And what mindset? I think just it's not from the mind, it's more from the feeling. For me, at least, when I see other people dancing, my body reacts, that it's like telling me, I want that too. It looks so good, and it's like exciting, and it's like lightening up. And it's just enjoying that. So it's I think just keep going, keep trying dancing, and not giving up if you want to get better. And dancing, of course, it takes a lot of practice. So for me, it's also just, I think what makes my dance also better is just looking in music and just dancing, just moving slow and feeling like impulses and stuff and connecting with the music. I think it's not a good answer for the question, but like which mindset, an open mindset, a disciplined mindset.
I don't think you put a word on it, but you described it well, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Are you able to dance freestyle without good music or in silence?
I could, yes. I think I do sometimes. When I'm like trying to create new choreography and I'm just stuck and just sometimes I don't play any music and I'm just working on the move. So sometimes I dance without music and then very slow, because then I'm like trying to consciously watch myself and look what I do and then find new ways in and out of positions. So it is possible, but it's strange. It's a little strange. Music keeps me really going. If it's a good song, it's like a bam. It's like.
How long do you usually freestyle? Like, if it's a good song, could you dance the whole song through?
Yes. I mean, after 2 songs, maybe if it's a very fast song, because fast songs I tend to get also very fast. I'm quite tired. But yeah, I could do like 2 songs or 3 songs maybe. If it's slow, of course, yeah, also maybe 3 songs is the maximum. Then I need to break. Then I need to drink something or just pause.
Do you feel like the pole community is very open and progressive?
They are very open, yes. What do you mean with progressive?
Like forward thinking, like open-minded.
Oh, yeah. Open-minded, definitely. I mean, the people that I meet in the pole dance studios and the owners and the teachers, for me, they are open. in my point of view, when I see them, they seem very open and just accepting of like everyone and different stuff and just inclusion. Yeah, it's inclusion, right?
Yeah, that's what I found also with pole, and I don't feel like every sport is like that. That's why I like to ask.
Yeah, I think because maybe everybody like starts, but for me it was like this. In the first class, everybody is like shy, and it is a very like new sport, and it's very different. And because we are all in the beginning like this, I think it's also, if you are then in this community, you're more embracing of everybody else because you know how it is. And
yeah, I think, and I just came to this realization as you said that, but like people start pole dance when they're almost adults, and that's like no other sport. So you have that, like it's like people start soccer when they're like 5, and you don't really remember what it was like going to your first practice and being all nervous. But like pole is like you could possibly have to strip down to your shorts and your sports bra, and like as an adult. Like that's another shade of it, but like yeah, you remember very clearly because you're already an adult.
That's true, yeah, and it's it's different. I mean, many people like stay at that sport where they are kids and they just grow up with that community, and I think for pole it's more older people, adults, yeah. Yeah, and that's an interesting fact. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay, well, is there anything else you'd like to share, or if anyone has any last questions, you can ask.
You have questions? You can write them down.
Ask while I'm here. Okay, well, thank you for doing this interview with me. It was really nice to meet you, and I hope I can visit Berlin. I look forward to seeing more videos and seeing your progress.
Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me. It's I love like to talk with people face to face, although it's now over the internet, but it's really nice.
Yeah.
Thanks for the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Oh, of course. Thank you.